bodies pretty well, but does anybody have any new things maybe I should know about?
Janet's nose.
Yeah, and the class is can be heavy on inversions if you want it to be, but the options are also there, okay? So, that's not gonna happen over there, that's good. Anything else anybody's going through? No. Psychologically, everybody's fine?
I think I missed that. What was it last
I said psychologically, everybody's fine.
Can you relevate it until that?
That's a different part of my practice.
I think everybody has button seat dice.
Yeah, you just need to move, right? Yeah. I am totally with you. Are we on? Okay. Oh, hi everyone. So this class that we're presenting tonight has some live students in it, so it will be a bit different. You'll hear us chatting it up a little bit to some of the students that are here with us as well. I just wanted to start tonight's class by saying that acknowledging, first of all, the intense energy that's going on the planet, on the whole planet, between viruses and protest, and then in other countries there's intensity that we may not even know about, because I won't get into it, but in the United States sometimes we don't know what's happening elsewhere. They know what's going on here, but there's enough going on right here, right now. So I've had a lot of clients call, astrological, spiritual counseling clients, because they're feeling really off-centered. And it's very easy to feel off-centered right now because our humanness does one thing. It likes a pattern, it likes some habit, it likes to know what's coming, and that is really all in an effort to think that we're in control. Because that's not how the universe is set up. And it's really a beautiful mystery, but unless we accept that, we can find it to be very disruptive. And so this time, like every time, everything we go through in our life is some of our greatest teachers. This is a time period where we realize that every day when we wake up, it might be a little bit different. Things seem like they're just really, for the collective, and then for many of us personally, we may just feel like things are off. But that's when our practice is. That's when yoga, the whole encompassing yoga, comes in handy for us to use as a tool. Because we are emotional, we are mental, we are physical. Those are the things as humans, those are what make us up. But if we have one of those areas in control over another, we can be really, really out of sync in our life. So what we do is we learn through quieting, through either the yoga postures or through meditation, to come to a place in the middle. There's lots of words for it, but sattva is one of those words where we come to a place in the center so we can observe our life, so that we can see what's throwing us off, but also tap into what it is we truly want to do with this incredible existence, this incredible life we have. So what do we do when we're really thrown off center and we feel helpless and we feel like we can't do anything for the collective? That is your mind. Because in your heart, what we can do is stay the course of sattva. As much as possible, we keep ourselves calm and collected so that that energy that we emanate, because we are energy, we emanate it out to those who are having a lot of trouble keeping their center. And it's more important than you know. Because when we can change our judgment, change the way we think, be more inclusive, and actually send out the heart energy from right here in our being, we are actually affecting the collective. So tonight we've gathered here, and perhaps doing this online, so that we can find that place of center and collectiveness within ourselves. And that is, in one of the yoga teachings, the one way of being selfish is to take care of the self, knowing that you're doing it to be better for the collective, because we're all connected. So take care of your individual self so that you can make the collective stronger. And we are in a time of great, incredible change. So we're going to get to our center a little bit here by working our body, but before, we're going to do a little chanting by reminding ourselves that we are love. So Aham, Prema. Aham, Prema is what we're going to, the mantra is going to be tonight, which is I am love. Reminding yourself that that's what you are from every part of your being. Aham, Prema. So Steve and I will start singing. A lot of you have been with us for a long time and you already know this. It's a 4-part, so we'll do it twice through. Okay? Actually, let's do it 3 times through. So we'll do that here in just a second. Go ahead and close your eyes. Allow your seat to become heavy into the floor and feel that sense of really being connected to the earth and also being supported by it. Let your breath be clear. See if you can feel it over your nostrils and down into the lowest part of your being. And as you exhale, feeling a sense of lightness in every part of your body. This type of deep breathing is very intimate. Allow yourself to feel the intimacy that you have with the universe, with the prana and the life force. You can allow your hands just to remain in your lap or on your knees, or some of you might want to put your hands in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra, whichever is more comfortable for you. We'll do one Om and then we'll start the chant. Again, we'll do 3 times through the Aham mantra. So breathing out and in. Feeling the mantra in your heart. Aham, Prema. Aham, Prema. Aham, Prema. Aham, Prema. Couple more times. Aham, Prema. Aham, Prema. One more time. Aham, Prema. Aham, Prema. Sitting with your beautiful energy, maybe feeling your essence in your heart center and setting an intention for yourself, for the world. Let's go ahead and open our eyes. bring your hands to your knees, and then we're gonna bring the right hand over to the left fingertips back behind us, and just starting off nice and sweet with our own bodies. Get nice and tall, keep the hips nice and even, and then just start to twist and look over your left shoulder. Allow yourself to take a couple breaths here. Pull the lower belly in and out to just come through and switching sides. And then just breathing nice and deep and feeling that twist, looking over the right shoulder. Being aware, but also being relaxed. Nice, come on back to the center. We're gonna bring the left fingertips out, right arm up overhead. Extend up through those right fingertips. And we're just going to do a light crescent. So keeping that right hip down, and then just look up and underneath that right arm, and just take a nice deep breath here. Really nice. In and up, switching sides. Left arm up, coming up and over, tracking the left hip down, like an opening in that whole side body. Beautiful. Inhale, come on back up, and then we're going to come on to all fours. So those of you who've been practicing with us for a long time know what I'm talking about with the bandhas. So these energy locks, the lower bandha is actually an engagement of the pelvic floor up, and then the middle bandha, which is called Uddiyana bandha, is where we engage the lower belly. So I'm going to ask you just here on all fours. Knees are going to be hip distance apart, hands are right underneath the shoulders. Extend out to the crown of the head, and then just lightly tuck your tailbone under and see if you can feel that engagement. So pull the pelvic floor up, and then with the tucking of the tailbone, see if you can find that engagement of the lower belly. And then just breathe into that. So your breath is going to be a little different with the bandhas engaged. Less fullness in the up and down, but actually fuller from side to side. See if you can feel that. And then with that engagement, lightly, just start doing some cat-cow for yourself. Whether your inhale is cat, exhale, doesn't matter. Just find that rhythm for yourself where you can feel the bandhas and the opening in the spine. Good, come back to neutral. We're gonna bring our fingertips out in front of us and come into a nice little easy puppy pose. So knees stay right underneath the hips, and then we just melt down. We're gonna start to work the shoulders here by having the shoulder blades come onto the back, and then just melting the head down towards the floor. Again, breathing, using the breath to let go of any thoughts. And just let yourself be in the essence of the practice. And let's come to standing. So we're going to do a standing version of cat-cow. So feet are going to be a little bit wider than hip distance. Bend the knees. Come on down here, and then we're going to tuck that tailbone under a little bit and see if you can feel the bandhas, the lower two bandhas. And then again, just find that cat-cow for yourself, just opening up the spine. If you need to breathe out loud, that's fine. Good. See if you can make some contact with the locks. Nice, beautiful. Go ahead and tuck under and come on up to standing. Just roll your wrist down a little bit. And then bring your hands together, and we're going to just press them, and then see if you can bring one over. We're going to make them a little unbalanced. We just want to open up the wrist a little bit, and then also another way to do that is to just bring your hands down like this, and really pull the fingers back, or lightly pull the fingers back with the opposite hand to open up the muscles of the wrist and the forearms. Beautiful. Good. Just roll it out a little bit more. Good. So let's just come to the top of the mat. We're just going to get ourselves to down dog for some more warm up. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, we're going to fold. Bend those knees as much as you need to. Place the hands. Let's do one half lift. Really feeling that extension out. And then place the hands and then just step back into downward facing dog. Okay, take a couple deep breaths here in down dog. Go ahead and walk it out. So just really opening it up, getting a warmth in the whole body. Using your breath. So we're going to work some core. You know, I love me some core, but it's also really important. So come back to neutral in your down dog. And we're just going to come forward into plank pose. Wrists, elbows, shoulders line up. We're on the toes, and we're going to pull those bandhas in, or think about pulling the belly button back, perhaps, and just feel the strength that you can create in your body. Beautiful. Good. Go ahead and release down to your knees. And then just lift your left foot up and then just roll the point and flex the ankle and maybe roll it a bit. Maybe spread your toes. And then just switch sides. Again, just roll the ankle, spread the toes. Good. So we're gonna just engage the core just a little bit more. So come on down into Sphinx pose. So your hands, your arms are gonna be, your elbows are gonna be right underneath your shoulders, your hands are gonna stay flat. And then go ahead and drop to your knees for this at first. And actually, let's go on down to our bellies. Isometrically pull your shoulders back, beautiful. And then let's turn the palm up. And then keeping the forearm down, just bend at the wrist. Maybe bend the fingers, maybe make a fist if that helps a little bit, but we're really trying to keep the forearm down and feeling the muscles in the front of the forearm start to open up. Beautiful. Good. Come on down to just a little bit of a breathe. Let's relax. Bring your chin down to your arm and just bend your right foot. And again, let's just open up the ankles. Spread the toes. Good. Switching sides. Good. Nice. And then we are going to come into Sphinx pose. So this is something I like to give credit to my friend at Shine, Wendy Anderson. She calls it the sling with your body. So sometimes that helps to have different ways to think of it. So we're going to come up, off, onto, we're going to be on our knees, but we're going to lift our hips. So we're going to try to find that underneath engagement through the lower belly while we're up. Beautiful. Yeah, toes are down too. We're just finding that engagement, breathing into it. And then exhale, we're going to release down. Bring your right shoulder in and then bend the left knee, and maybe we'll reach back for it and get a little bit of a quad stretch. So the knee is directly out from that hip. And then try to bring your shoulder up to get a little bit of a stretch here as well. Nice. And then exhale, release, and we'll just switch sides. Bending the leg. And then if it's not possible to grab your ankle, you can always just bring the foot up. And then again, take the shoulder back, opening up the shoulder. Nice deep breath. Exhale, release. Come on down. We're gonna bring our fingertips back. This is my other friend, Sean, Kate Noble. So roll the shoulders up and back. So engage the muscles onto your back, the shoulder blades, and have them move down towards your hips, and then come up slightly. Keep the shoulders back. So we're keeping them open. We're keeping the shoulders back. Beautiful. Feet are down. We're just working getting the shoulders back by pushing them with the fingertips. Really nice. Beautiful. Exhale. Release down. Maybe rest for just a second. Connect with your breath. See how you're feeling. A couple nice deep breaths here. Beautiful. So come on, bring your hands back and let's push back into downward facing dog. Step or jump your feet forward to the top of your mat. And then let's just bring our hands to our hips and inhale, come all the way up to standing. Nice. Bring our hands in front of our heart. Ground the feet. Let your eyes close for a moment. Feel the shoulders go back and down, reaching up to the crown of the head and down into the foundation of your feet, and then just taking a couple nice deep breaths here. Setting that intention to feel the love coming from your own center, the Aham, Prema, I am love. And reminding ourselves of that at any time where we need it, where we might be self-critical or doubting. And reminding ourselves that we are part of creation, are part of the divine. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Use your shins or however high up you need to go. And then exhale, release down. Beautiful. One more time, half lift. Exhale, release down. And let's take that right leg back into high lunge. Stretching out from the front knee through the back heel, to the crown of the head. Feel that opening. Feeling nice and strong. Even see if we can feel the bandhas here. And then on your exhalation, we're going to take the foot back and we're going to come into plank pose. Since we're working this core, we're pulling in and up. And then on your exhale, see if you can keep that strength as you come all the way down to the floor. Feel that sling action, even though the belly's down. Inhale, come up into cobra or up dog, wherever you are. Exhaling, back down, push back, downward facing dog. On your next inhalation, we're going to bring the right leg forward. So the opposite leg, so we're on the opposite side. And then inhale, bring the back leg forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out to either side, coming all the way up to standing, hands down in front of the heart. And take a nice deep breath. So you're still at the top of your mat. I'm just going to turn this way, and we're going to bring our hands down. So a couple things, depending on how flexible your shoulders might be, we can just bring our hands or fist here to bring the shoulders up and back. And then if you have any limitations, but if not, you might actually bring your hands together and start to bring the shoulders down, away from the ears, opening the body. At the same time, see if you can feel a sliding back of the rib cage as you tuck the tailbone under to give you a nice connection with the body. So it's not disconnected, ribs forward, but sliding them back, bringing the shoulders back, and then taking a nice deep breath. Beautiful. Go ahead and release, and then just shake it out. Roll your shoulders out. How's everybody feeling? Good. Yeah, it's good. Nice, nice, nice. It's amazing the difference with having actual bodies in here. It's so different. I mean, we haven't talked with bodies since March, and it is really different. It's very different. Even though we had each other, it's just a little bit different. So, okay, we're going to go through a little bit of a flow here. Make sure I've got what I want to do. arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale that half lift. On the exhale, go deep. We're going to do a couple of these. Using the bandhas to protect the lower back. Inhaling up. Exhale, folding over. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, go deep. We're going to take that right leg back into a high lunge. Turn the back foot to be flat with the back of the mat and coming up into warrior two. Beautiful. So finding that space, the front knee right out over the second and third toe, isometrically pulling the feet together. Find that strength and see if you can even find the bandhas in this pose. Beautiful. We're going to bend the left elbow, bring it onto the left knee and the right arm up and over the ear. So we're going to just do a couple windmills with that arm just to get the shoulder open. So just take it down to 6 o'clock and around and then reverse it. So you're just opening up the shoulder, getting it really movable, and then bring it back up and over. Then I'm going to ask you to extend it out in front of you, so towards the front of you, and then engage the shoulder blade onto the back. Yeah, thank you. And then bring that up and over your ear. Beautiful. Take a nice deep breath here. As you push down into the floor, inhale, come up, back into warrior two. Nice. We're going to take that back hand to your right hand to the back leg, and then the right arm back, left arm up. Beautiful. Nice deep breath here. Beautiful. Back to warrior two. Bring your hands to your hips, and you're going to turn both feet towards the front of the mat. And I apologize for not going up there to teach, but these folks won't know what's going on. So the hands are on your hips. Inhale. Take your shoulders up and back. Beautiful. And then we're going to come forward. So bending right at the hips. Bringing your hands or fingertips down into the floor. Beautiful. Just taking a nice deep breath, bringing the head down towards the floor, shoulder blades engage, and breathe. Spread the bones of the feet. Engage the muscles all the way up the legs. Engage the quads with your knees. Inhale, just place the hands flat or on your fingertips and then reach out. Exhale, elbows straight back behind you. Again, allowing the head to come down towards the floor. We're going to come up for a half lift here and bring the left hand to the middle of the mat, right hand to the hip, and just twisting to look over that right shoulder. Welcome if your shoulders are nice and open to bring that top arm up. So you'd be bringing your right arm up towards the sky. Keeping the breath even, telling the body that everything is good. Exhale, bring the hand down. We're going to switch sides. So right hand to the middle, left hand to the hip and twist, and then maybe that left arm will come up with a nice deep breath. Beautiful. Exhale, both hands to the floor. We're going to turn that front foot towards the front of the mat. So your left foot's towards the front, and we're going to go through a vinyasa. So bring your front foot forward, your front foot back, come into plank pose. Exhale, slow lower down to the mat.
Some things never
Inhale, some things never change. Inhale, shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Couple nice deep breaths here. Yeah, nice. Inhale, lifting your right leg up and then through to high lunge. Find that the action of your lunge to really open up the body, then turn that right foot to be flat with the back of your mat. And now that was your left foot, your right elbow is on your right knee, and we're going to come into side stretch. Beautiful. Coming up into warrior two. Go deep on that front leg, whatever that is for you right now. Nice. On your exhale, we're going to bring that front elbow back down into the side stretch position. And then just opening the shoulder with some rotation. Up and around, taking it in both directions, like a big clock hand. Breathing nice and deep. And then as you're ready, just coming back into Parsvarthanasana. Inhaling up to Warrior Two. And that left hand to the left thigh, right arm up. Really nice. On your exhale, we're going to bring the hands back down to Warrior Two. And turning the feet now, so you're going to be facing the opposite side. I'm going to turn around and really confuse myself, just so that I don't have my back to the camera here. We'll see how this goes. So turn the toes out, and then on this side, I'll tell you what, bring your toes back in. Thank you very much. We're going to come down with our hands in front. And we're going to just do some side lunges, okay? So you might turn the feet out slightly depending, and just, you might stay up higher. Some of you who are really open, I've got to be really careful with my knees. Others can come all the way down. So just opening up the muscles of your inner thighs and breathing nice and deep. And then come back to neutral. We'll meet back in neutral with toes forward. Bring your hands to your sacrum and clasping the hands, and take the head down a little bit further towards the floor, and then lifting the arms up away from the body, but taking the shoulders down towards the pelvis. Breathing nice and deep. A couple nice deep breaths here. Hands to hips. Inhale, coming all the way up. Beautiful. Bring your hands in front of your heart. We're going to turn back to that lunge position on that side. So let's bring both hands down to the floor. So they're on either side of your left foot, your right foot. Inhale, bring the opposite, the back leg forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, go a little bit deeper. Then in your next inhalation, coming all the way up to stand. Beautiful. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Take a nice deep breath. Just take a moment here to let your breath catch up with itself, to even out. And with the eyes closed, just maybe scanning the body and seeing how you're feeling right now in your practice. Some of us, it might have been a long time since we've done a practice. Are we being gentle with ourselves? But whenever the thoughts are coming up, see if you can access your heart center. Let your thoughts melt down to the heart center. Let your emotions come up to the heart center. One more deep breath here. Exhale, go ahead and release the hands. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, that half lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, go a little bit deeper. Go ahead and take the right leg back into lunge. And then we're going to take the right leg back to meet it. Coming through a vinyasa. So lowering down, keep the shoulders back, keeping that sling action. Inhale up. Really keeping the bandhas moving in the core, shoulders are back, exhale, back to downward facing dog. So engaging the bandhas, lift your left foot about 2 inches or so off the floor. Pulling into that center, just see it for a second or two, you can lift the opposite hand, so your right hand, left foot, right hand, just play with it, breathe. Pull into the core, and then exhale, release both down, and just take a nice deep breath here. We're going to switch sides, so lift that right foot up a little bit, and then see if you can lift. Maybe you just bring your left fingertips to the floor, but really helps you to engage into the core, or maybe you can lift that arm up, find that balance, breathe in, Exhale, back to downward facing dog as your resting pose here for a moment. Inhale, go ahead and bring the right leg forward into high lunge. And then coming forward with the left foot, inhale, half lift. Exhale, go deep. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, the hands down in front of the heart. Taking another little breath here to even things out. And lifting your right knee up in front of you. So you're making a 90-degree angle with that leg. And then you're just going to step back and see if you can find your lunge. So bend the back knee really deeply. So we try to straighten it out as much as possible, but bending it to start we're going to do a warrior one variation. So bring the arms out and then bring the arms up. The knee is bent, square the hips off, pull into the bandhas, and then see where that back leg goes as you try to straighten it. And just be nice to yourself, see where it bends, or where it can straighten. Beautiful. Bring your hands down in front of your heart. We're going to pull into the bandhas. Place your hands, and we're going to come down into a low lunge. Nice. Let's bring the right fingertips down, and we're going to do a little quad stretch. So opposite hand to opposite foot. Again, roll the shoulder up and back, and then also turn and look over that left shoulder. And breathe. A couple nice deep breaths here. Beautiful. Exhale, release both hands on either side of that front foot, and then pull your right foot to meet the left. Inhale, coming up. Hands in front of the heart, lifting the opposite leg, left foot. To 90 degrees, stepping back and coming into your lunge. Nice. Again, bend the back knee nice and deep. Square the hips off. Inhale, start to bring the arms up and then start to straighten the back leg to where that works for you. Still engaging your bandhas, tucking the tailbone under, feeling freedom in your body. On your exhale, we're going to bring the hands down we're going to bring the hands to the knee. Using the core, we're going to gently come down to the knee, so we're in a low lunge. Reaching down with the left fingertips and then getting a nice quad stretch. So opposite hand to the opposite foot. Nice deep breath here. Beautiful. Exhale, release. Bring both hands to either side of that front foot and come onto your knees and come into a child's pose. Allow your breath to deepen. Perhaps feeling that sense of being able to breathe evenly into your heart center, which is both the physical heart center and the same space as the spiritual heart center, where we breathe into the hridaya, the spiritual heart. Allowing the intentions of our true inner heart to come forward in our life. Do a little bit more core. So we're going to come down to our bellies. placing your hands as if you're going to come into a cobra. So toes are straight back. Hands are where you're most comfortable for your cobra, but take them back far enough that you can actually roll your shoulders back. And then tuck the tailbone, push the feet down. Start to roll up and see if you can get the shoulders to stay back as you come up. Beautiful. Shoulders back and down, so not up towards the ear. It really looks really great. Really nice. Exhale, release. Bring the, actually let's keep the hands where they are for cobra. Turn your toes under, and we're gonna come up onto the knees and create that sling. Exhale, release down. Coming back up and then lift the knees and really pull into your core, shoulders together and down the back. Exhale, release. Make a little pillow and take a breath. Breathing nice and deep here. Up to your elbows. So you may need a strap, or you can do a modification of this. So some of us are going to we're going to come down and we're going to grab the ankles. If this is not accessible and keeping the knees straight back, we can come with the feet up and just roll up and keep the feet active and bringing the hips in. Otherwise, we can bring the hands to the ankles, roll the shoulders up and back, and just tuck the tailbone, have the bandhas engaged, and bringing the shoulders up and back, looking forward, making sure to keep the lower back nice and safe. Everybody's looking good. Breathing. Exhale, release down. Maybe just rest on your chin. Really listening to your body again. Maybe it had been a long time since we've done a long practice, even if we have been practicing. And go ahead and push up to your knees. We're going to step forward and come into another vinyasa just to get some heat going. How's everybody doing here live? Is feeling good? Feel good to move your body and be in class again? The one thing that all of this has done is I think it has increased a lot for a lot of us an appreciation of things we took for granted. Even as yogis, we think that we're really conscious of that, but then when it's gone and it comes back, like tomorrow. So we've been doing yoga, but we have missed going to our little boutique trainer. So it's affected the way we feel about our body, and we're going back for our first training session tomorrow, so it's kind of the same thing. It's like a whole new attitude. You say to yourself, I'm never complaining about going to the gym again. Never complaining. We'll say about that, right? Okay, good. So inhale, take the arms up overhead. So let's just grab your right wrist with your left hand and then just press it. A simple opening. I'm just going to turn it towards you here for a moment. Just feel that opening. Inhale, come up, just switch sides. Feel that opening, cresting over. Nice, inhale, come up. Let your arms come down. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift up. On the exhale, we're going to take the right leg back into high lunge. Low lunge. And we're all going to just keep our fingers here and just bend the back foot and spread the toes. Maybe work the ankle if you want to. Then bringing it back down, we're going to bring the right hand out nice and wide, left hand to the knee, and a variation of Anjaneyasana. Start to twist open, bringing the left arm up. The shoulders are opening up, so the heart is nice and open. And if your practice allows, go ahead and lift the right knee up off the floor, breathing. Feel the beautiful opening here. Nice. On your exhale, release down. Push back, downward facing dog. Coming through a vinyasa, come through that plank pose. Engage those muscles. Exhale down to the floor. Inhale. Upward facing dog or cobra. Shoulders away from the ears. Beautiful. Exhale. Back to downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath here. On your inhalation, we're going to bring the left leg, the right leg forward. Whichever one we can just do, right? Okay, that's it. Good. Come down to low. Steve is right. Some things never change. Bring that opposite hand out. So we'll have the right hand on our right knee. Just feel that twist. Start to bring the arm up. And then bring the back knee up, if that's working for you. Beautiful, everyone. That's great. A couple nice deep breaths here. Exhale, bring the hand down. We're going to come down to the knee and then just lift the foot. Just circle, open the muscle, open the bones of the feet. Toes back down. High lunge, inhale, back leg forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, go a little bit deeper. Next, inhale, bring the arms up and out and come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down, down heart, and then just release. Okay, so before we go to the wall, let's do something simple. I shouldn't say that because it's not simple for all of us, but balancing on one foot. So if you need a wall for this, feel free to move to there. But we're going to do some variations with a tree. So we're going to bring the left foot as our foundation at first, and you can kickstand up to the shin or into your thigh. And here we can really use that action of the bandhas, the lower belly pulling up the pelvic floor, which gives us the stability, and then bringing everything into the center. And then finding your breath. We hold our breath, there's no movement, and we kind of cut the heart off from the rest of our beat. Inhale the arms up overhead. So see if you can keep that clear breath by having your drishti, that stare, so you're able to focus. And we're going to open the arms parallel to the floor, bringing the forefinger and the thumb together. Jana Mudra. And maybe we'll just bend at the elbows and the wrist. And we're going to turn towards that bent leg, so towards the right leg. Showing us that we can focus, that we are able to. Inhaling back to center, hands to heart. Aham, Prema. Aham, Prema. Aham, Prema. Beautiful. Exhale and release. So we'll move to the other side, which can be a whole different experience. So bringing the left toes into kickstand, shin, or up, wherever you're working. Find that bringing things into the middle to the stop thigh. Grounding roots through the foundation foot and up through the crown of the head. A stream of light holding you out to the divine. Inhale the arms up. This time let's open the arms up, big tree branches. This side will be a little bit different. So our left hand is going to come into Jana Mudra with the fingers and down. Jana Mudra on the right hand, and it's going to come down and rest on the sacrum in the lower back. And then the arms will switch. And then we'll bring them to even. Bring them up, overhead again, bringing the palms of the hands together. On your next exhalation, the Aham Prema down through the central channel. Beautiful. And then hopefully you have a little bit of space that you can use. So I think we have enough room. I'd like for you to be able to do waiter's pose. So waiter's pose, for those of you in homeland, is the hand is up like you're carrying a tray, and we're going to move the ear towards the wall to open the shoulder. Okay? So I think we got enough room to do that. Good. So we're going to try to straighten the elbow on the arm that's up against the wall and roll the shoulder up and back, bring the body in, and then we're going to start to try to bring the torso out to the center of the room. And you're paying attention to your body, feeling that opening, breathing deep. Couple nice deep breaths here. Exhale, start to push into the wall and then switching sides. Couple nice deep breaths here. And that movement towards the middle of the room. Nice. Exhale, release. And we'll come on back to our mats. So how's everybody, how are your shoulders feeling? Pretty open? Come on with that? Okay, good. So come on back to your mat. And let's come on down to all fours. So come onto your right forearm. Excuse me. Let's come down into Sphinx pose. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a variation of Vasisthasana. So you can bring your right foot out and left foot under. We're going to try to keep this arm straight out as much as possible. If your shoulder is tight and you need to bring this in, that's fine. Beautiful. Hand can come to the hip. There you go. So your left arm, beautiful. Yeah, you guys got it. Left arm is out, hands on the hip, right arm up. Take a nice deep breath here. If you are feeling really strong in that shoulder and it's open, you can come into the standard Vasisthasana. Beautiful. Taking a breath. Nice deep breath here. Beautiful. Exhale. Back down. Come onto your knees. Take a little child's pose. Good. Let's come on back up. We're going to switch sides. I'm going to actually turn around so I don't have my body to the camera. And so come down into Sphinx pose first. And then we're going to bring that left foot in, or the opposite foot in, and come into the kickstand version, which is going to be easier on the shoulder. Then bring the hand to the hip. Then take the arm up. So we're really working that shoulder, and maybe we'll bring the foot to the traditional, but we don't have to. Whatever's working for your body. A couple nice deep breaths here. Nice. Exhale, release down. Come into a child's pose and rest. Again, just listening to your heart. Allowing the message of love to flow through you. Knowing that it's real, that our energetic essence is powerful. Nice. So come on back up. So we're going to come into whatever form of a regular Vasisthasana. So off the elbow now and onto the hands. So I know you guys probably all know this, but just in case somebody is taking this that has no idea what we're doing. I'm going to place the left hand here, so I'm just going to show you real quickly. The right knee would come in, the left leg would come underneath to support me, and I can come up like this. So that's more the traditional, and then we can come to here. And then I don't know if I'm open enough, but if you can come into the tree version of it, because I'm going to give you some time to do any of these that you want, or more of the full expression. Okay, so we're going to do it. Let's come onto the left hand first. So, left hand, we're going to bring the right foot in as a kickstand, left hand, bringing the hand to the hip. You can stack the foot, or again, just staying in kickstand and bringing the top arm up. We have the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder all engaged and lined up and breathing nice and deep. Beautiful, everyone. A couple deep breaths here. You can come into the tree version of it, or grab the big toe, whatever your practice allows. And tucking the tailbone and pulling the bandhas in for the advanced part of it is beautiful. Exhale, come on down and rest just on all fours for a moment. A couple nice deep breaths. And then we'll turn to the other side. So coming onto your right hand, bring that left foot forward, left leg underneath, inhale up. And then perhaps stacking the feet, tree version, advanced version, whatever your body feels it's capable of today and what it needs. Beautiful. Keep breathing. Take a couple more breaths there. Everybody looks really strong. Nice. And then as you exhale, come on down and come into a child's pose. Yeah. Well deserved child's pose. Just taking a nice couple deep breaths. Just a little bit more on the shoulders here. Everybody's feeling pretty good? Good. Good. So let's come into downward facing dog for just a second here. We're going to take our right foot behind us. So a different way to come into wild thing. So the right foot comes back behind us. Inhale the right arm up to finding the wild thing just in a different position. Beautiful. Stack to make sure that the elbow, wrists, and shoulder are lined up, and then just bring the heart forward. Beautiful. Nice deep breath. One more breath. Exhale. Release down. Come to all fours. Take a nice little breath here. Then switch it, coming back up into downward facing dog. Switching sides. So now the left foot's going to come back behind you. Inhaling the left arm up, heart to the sky. Breathing nice and deep. Heart up, then exhale, come back to down, and come on into child's pose. And resting. We take this time to really quiet and bring the inhale and exhale back to a place of a sense of being equal, equilibrium. You may find that at this part of the practice we're actually able to disconnect from the thoughts a little easier. And if you can, that's okay. But sometimes in a longer practice, we find that the movement, the breath, the increase of the blood flow, the increase of oxygen, sometimes the mind just automatically will chill out a bit. And we use this part of our practice to allow that to happen, and that's what happens when we go deeper in our meditations, is we allow that heart voice to start to come. We can differentiate between the mind voice and the heart voice. We start to trust it. We start to make some big movements in our lives, the ones that are in accord with our heart. Nice. So come on up. And we're gonna, we do not have access to blankets, okay, unless you brought your own, which is great. But we're gonna come into Malasana. So I have really tight inner thighs. So those of you who can come into Malasana with the feet out, keeping the heels down and coming all the way in, that's just about where I can go with it. And we're gonna, those of us that can't, will turn our toes out a little bit or come up onto our toes and coming into Malasana, okay? So whatever works best for you. Steve, yes, there you go. Steve, I'm gonna ask you to come up and do it. My knees are tight. So just coming into Malasana, wherever you are,
Straight forward?
in the traditional pose, you would have them forward.
But if your feet can't go straight ahead, the knees should follow your...
Exactly. Yeah. If your body needs that, it's good. Taking a couple deep breaths here. Really nice. Yeah. And then we're going to come into either Bakasana, crow pose prep, or we can stay right where we are. So Steve's going to place his hands down. He puts his elbows, we do it differently. He puts his elbows on his triceps to come up. I like to put mine on the outside of my triceps and push in. So maybe if this isn't a pose that's really accessible to you, just come up and do it with one foot coming up, one foot down. Just playing with it. Good. And come down and rest for a second. And my friend here is pretty proficient at this, so those of you who just want to take it a little bit further, this class is intermediate to advanced, so I'm just going to show you this where he comes down, he comes into Bakasana, and then he will tip down onto his head.
Beautiful. That was not quite as graceful as I thought.
Oh, that's okay, you're doing great. Beautiful. Now, none of this is necessary for you to do. I'm just showing you that if you want to play with this, or even just tipping down, he's going to bring his legs back down, and he's going to show off. Good. We're staying in Malasana, that's good. Just wherever you.
I'm not allowed to do that.
Yeah, good. And so some of us have things in our body that don't allow us to do certain poses that maybe we've done before. And there's also a thing called maturing, and we realize that certain things may not be good for us anymore. And that's the discernment, the viveka of yoga, when we know what is good for us and what is not. So thank you very much. So that was the acrobatic part of our class tonight. So come on up. How's everybody doing? Doing good? We're going to come to the wall again. So come to your spot on the wall and simply come into box pose with your hands on the wall. Okay? Shoulders are nice and open. So we are going to come into box pose where the hands are right out from the shoulders. I'm going to use an imaginary wall here for those of you at home. My hands are up against the wall. I'm going to step out to make a 90-degree angle with my body, taking the hips back, still using my body as coming in and really pushing up into the wall. Breathing. This is really great to get the whole posterior chain of your body open. So from your heels up to the backs of your legs, into your glutes and hips, up through the spine, into the arms and the shoulders, and then just breathing nice and deep. Beautiful. Inhale, come on back up. And then I'm going to ask you guys, I guess we're going to take your mat to the wall. I realize we don't need that. So if you just can take your mat to the wall for a second. We'll do a couple things here. So, first thing is, if you are not going upside down tonight, we're going to go back into regular box pose, okay? For those of you who are okay with going upside down tonight, we're going to do that where we find our spacing by putting our legs out, kind of figuring out that that's where our hands go, or right about where our heels were. And then we're going to come into box pose upside down. I'm sure this has another name to it. So the feet will come up, and then we'll find that 90-degree angle. Hopefully that's 90 degrees. How's that? Feet down a little more. Okay. So again, we have options to just come to the box pose at the wall. Janet, you okay? Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. If somebody puts a hand on their back, Stephen, I'll come over and help you. If that feels good. Good. Some people are taking one leg up and then the other. That's great. Breathing nice and deep. And then as you're ready, come down for a second and take a little break. We're going to do one more thing here at the wall. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and I'm just going to ask you to do this. Okay. Yeah, just come do this so I can just kind of talk and look. So I'm going to ask you to you do this a lot in this class, but it's been a long time since we've had class. So I'm going to ask you to come to down dog with your heels on the baseboard. So your heels will be up on the baseboard. Do you remember that correctly? Good. So then we're going to bring one leg up the wall. Nice. And we might turn those toes under. See if we can turn your toes under. There we go. Straighten that leg out. You can walk your hands back if you need a little bit more intensity. Walk them back towards your feet. Not necessary. Beautiful. Good. Then bring that leg down. Bring the other leg up. Stretching out. So taking the heart back, leg straight. Really nice, nice, nice. Those of you who want a little bit more of a challenge can bring both feet up. So you're doing a down dog at the wall. Breathing. Nice. And then as you're ready, you're going to come down and find the child's pose. Beautiful. A couple nice deep breaths here. Good. Now I'm going to ask you to turn around. So you're on your mat. So I know some of you have handstand in your practice, but I'm gonna ask you to just try doing, because we're so open, is just to keep just bouncing up. So Steve's gonna show us. He's gonna come into down dog with his fingers a few inches away from the floor. He's gonna come into a down dog, and then there's lots of stuff to try here. So he's gonna lift his dominant leg, come up on the toes of the other leg, and just bounce and try to keep this back leg straight. So he needs to really push out to that back heel.
Don't look at my back.
Okay. And then we're gonna do a couple of those and then come get down. And then I'd like for you to switch sides. So then try your less dominant leg. So let me for just a second. So there's a lot of things you can do if I were at the wall. So it might be just to lift this leg and do little bounces, but to keep this leg straight. If you're just getting started with handstands, this usually happens.
So just being able to do that and hop at the same time, and then switching sides. Okay. So you got some options to play with. Okay.
Yeah, so I forgot we're filming.
So just playing around with whatever you're gonna do. It might be, some of you might go all the way to the wall, others are just hopping. Those of you at home just kind of playing with whatever it is that you want to do. Keeping the elbows having towards one another. Really nice, Janet. Good. Do a couple of those. And then when you're done, just come on down and rest for a second or two. Nice. So let's all come, if you, again, I'm sorry we don't have blankets to use, but you may just want to bring your mat back to give you a little bit more cush. And we're going to just do a simple back bend. Those of you who go into deeper back bends, you're welcome to, but I'm going to talk us through just some simple stuff here. So bringing your hands to your hips with your thumbs at the top of your hips, just tucking under. Again, bring that rib cage back, bring the shoulders back, pull the bandhas up, so the pelvic floor and then the lower belly. Bring the heart up and back, shoulders back, coming up towards the sky. Those of you who want to go a little bit further might bring your hands to your thighs, some to your heels. But again, really keeping the action of the bandhas, the breathing, the heart up and open. Those of you who are feeling really open might just bring one arm up. And then replacing it, bringing the other arm up. Keeping the lower back clear through the actions of keeping that tailbone lightly tucked. Beautiful. Nice. And then come on back to your mat and lay down.
Can we pull away from the wall?
Sure. Yeah, we're done with the wall. If you want to pull away from it, it's fine. So, I will just come to the side here. So, just come on down to your back and have your feet about as wide as your mat. And then just let your knees fall over to the left. You might place your left foot up on the right and feel that right knee tracking straight down out of the hip. Breathing nice and deep. And coming back to neutral and then bringing the knees up. And then we'll switch to the other side. So a little windmill over. And then the right knee on top of the left. Breathing, tracking it down. Great. Inhale, go ahead and bring that up. Just let your knees fall together. And bring your hands to your heart for a moment. And just pausing. Taking a couple nice deep breaths. We're going to come into bridge pose. So bring the knees neutral again. Elbows in nice and tight. Roll your shoulders underneath your nice open shoulders. And we're going to do two bridge poses. So for those, and I'll give you a little bit of variation. Some of you who might want to come into full wheel, if that's part of your practice, you're welcome to do that. So inhaling the hips up, roll the shoulders under, really feeling the elbows make contact with the mat, pushing down. We're lifting the hips, breathing nice and deep. And then exhale, just bring the hips down, hands onto the belly, and relax for a moment. Getting ourselves set for the second one. We'll do some variations. You can just stay in regular bridge. Inhale, lift the hips. Maybe bring the hands down, clasp down towards the mat. Bring your left leg in and then up towards the sky. These are just options. You can stay in bridge pose. Nice deep breath. If the leg's up, bring that one down, switching sides. Foot is reaching towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Exhale, release down. Hands still underneath. Really lift the hips up. Exhale, bring the hands back to your neutral position. And exhale, hips down, knees together, hands to belly or heart. Allow your eyes to close. Just taking a couple nice deep breaths. Nice. Go ahead and we're going to bring both knees in and just still have a nice curve in your lower back. Tuck the tailbone slightly, just feel that opening. And then take your left leg down and bring your right foot up towards the sky. Bring your hands back behind that leg. Beautiful. So foot straight up to the sky, nice. And we're going to take that top leg, so your right leg is going to go over to the left. We're going to manually just push our right hip down towards our left foot, and then maybe open up the right arm so that we are extending it down, the shoulders on the floor. Beautiful. A couple nice deep breaths here. Inhale back up to center. Bring the left leg to meet it, and then lower the left leg down. Or the right leg down. Good, we're switching sides. Square up the hips, then take that left leg across the right side of the body. Again, track your left hip down, and then opening it up. Breathing nice and deep. Inhaling back up to neutral. Bring both legs up again. And we're going to just do a little curl. So the feet are flat. We're just going to curl the core in. And then exhaling the body back down. And maybe the hands will come underneath the glutes if need be. And then do a slow lower with the legs down towards the floor. Really engaging the core and the bandhas. As your feet meet the mat, coming into your Shavasana pose. Arms open wide, legs, everything starts to relax. So coming into corpse pose. Coming back into that sense of allowing the body to deeply, deeply relax the way it needs to. Keeping in mind maybe the intention that you had before class. For those of us, and I know many of you do, have a practice of self-reflection. You may bring into not only your mind's eye, but your heart, what your overall intention might be for your life. And allowing your practices to help you strengthen the will to bring about the life that you so long for.
time of Shavasana, especially in the practices where we are able to loosen the grip of the mind, that we can allow wisdom to flow through our whole being. We may have lots and lots of knowledge, but as it becomes wisdom, we feel a sense of truth that moves through us. Putting the Aham Prema into your yoga meditation toolbox. You feel the busy mind. Invite the love into your heart. When you feel yourself engaging in overabundance of emotion, hate or anger, or jealousy, or whatever it might be, just allowing the Aham Prema. I am love. I am love. I am love. Take a nice deep breath into your body, nice and deep. If you're so inclined, perhaps maybe as you take in your next deep breath, you may reach your arms up overhead and stretch out from your toes to your fingertips. Whatever feels good to you. And then maybe moving your head from side to side, and rolling your wrist and ankles. And then as you're ready, just rolling to your left or your right side and bringing yourself up seated onto your mat. Taking your time. Letting your heart feel open. Sense of gratitude. And let's bring our hands in front of our heart. I'd like to thank some of my teachers who have so influenced my yoga. Kate Noble, Wendy Anderson, Sienna Sherman. In great gratitude, I hold them in my heart. And all of you as well, who study with us, who provide love and support. We're all connected. We're in the web of love. Let's end this class tonight with one big, beautiful Om. So breathing out and in. Namaste. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Much love and help. Thank you. Thank you.